Hi teachers, welcome to week 5 of Unit 3 of the Middle School ENL Standalone curriculum. Students, today will continue working on their persuasive letter or email here in day 3 and really getting to work on that essential question, how can we advocate for our community? So they are using their voices in order to advocate for their community. The lesson objectives here are to develop persuasive writing by using effective techniques, details, and sequences, and to prepare for and participate in a range of collaborations with diverse partners. So in the previous lesson, 5.2, they worked with partners to revise their work. So at the beginning of the lesson, you could do this as a discussion or have them reflect on an individual sheet of paper or note catcher, who their partner was and what revisions their partner suggested. There's a sentence starter right there. So the second thing here that you'll need to adjust based on the length of your class period and how far along your students are is how much more revision time they will have before they move on to final revisions and sharing. So this right here prompts students to ask teachers how much time do they have, but this is something that you could definitely edit to reflect the amount of time that students will get. Moving down here, students will share their letters by reading them out loud. So this is really important for them to share it verbally, to practice it, to hear it. And this is another way of getting to work on revising, because as we know as adults, there's a lot that you don't hear until you read it out loud. And then they will actively listen to each other's by keeping a checklist of the data points that they are using in those persuasive letters. So definitely make clear the fact that students need to be paying as close attention as possible to their peers as they're presenting, not only because it's nerve-wracking to present, but because they want to hear the data pieces that their classmates are using. So practicing active and focused listening, but also maybe there was a classmate that did something that another student really liked, so maybe they would like to maybe integrate that data point. Maybe they forgot about that data point. They're like, oh yeah, that's a great data point that I might want to use in my letter. So things like that. Emphasize the importance that they're listening actively to their peers because it will help them learn. So this is the space that they can keep track of the data. So they can use this one right here that has the screenshots from the New York City Community Health Profiles. So they can copy paste that X anywhere that they like. There's also the next slide that just has the data categories typed out. So if that's easier to see, it's also all in one. They don't move around, so they can also move the X's like this. If they see that this person talks about flu vaccination, they can move it right there. If they want to make another one, they can copy and paste. So there's another one that they can have. So put 3 here to begin with, but obviously if they have more or less data points that they heard in a speech, they can always copy to have more. The last thing here is the closing and connecting. So any of these are applicable and great for discussion. You might want to edit this connect to the project based on what your submission protocols are, or what your assessment protocols are, what you're planning to do with this assessment. As a reminder, these slides are in the Video Adapted Resources folder in TeachHub for this week. So if you would like to use these for your class or any part of these, then those are available to you. Bottom line, this is an editing day, a day for students to practice reading and speaking, as well as honing in their writing as well as their listening. So this is really a multimodality lesson that will force students to exercise all of those different muscles. So the listening to their peers, the speaking when they present, reading their speeches, and of course, writing and editing. So Hopefully this makes this lesson a little bit more clear, and happy writing and happy editing.